Welcome, everybody. It's Larry Johnson, your guest, a host, I should say, for A Principles Voices. And I have the wonderful opportunity of hosting Bala Guntipale today, who I have known from previous life, I guess, who is the founder and president of AFNITS, serving those who serve others. That's clever, Bala. We'll get into that in a minute. But he and he's a technologist, and I have sort of a love-hate relationship with technology, but we'll get over that. And but I'm here he has some new things he wants to share with you, which I think on par are probably positive. And but he is a native of India who immigrated to this country early in life and lived in Atlanta for a while. Now he's living in Minneapolis. So welcome, Bala.
Thank you, Larry, for having me. We truly appreciate your service to the nonprofits.
So, and you've spent pretty much your whole life in the in the technology sector, correct?
Yes, yes.
So,
Big.
tell me a little bit about your education.
I got mass MBA and started working at Fortune 20 companies like IBM, Accenture, and other companies. And while I was working there, few nonprofits approached me to volunteer and then to serve on their board. And one thing led to the another, volunteering and serving on the board. And then several nonprofits started approaching me, hearing the good things that I have done and served with other nonprofits of, saving money, increasing their capacity, doing more with less resources, both the time and then time and a team. So improving their capacity to serve more people by either consolidating the technology or figuring out how to automate tasks in the nonprofit. So,
So, so
mhm.
then AFNets is a what they call in the tech world a full stack solution for a nonprofit.
Comprehensive, we call it a comprehensive solution. We have,
Mm-hmm.
we have donor management, CRM, fundraising, board management, volunteer management, camp management. So you get a few, several solutions in
There's
one
it,
sign-on.
two things I want to focus in on. Board management. What does that consist of?
Board management, if you allow me to share screen, I'm happy to share and show,
Oh,
or,
sure. Sure. Here, hold on. Let me make sure this works. Okay. Feel
give
free
me
to share.
give me one
Now,
second.
bear in mind, this is visual, but it will be given in the audio version too.
Oh, okay. Give
Most
me.
of the most of the podcast platforms are audio. YouTube is visual.
Mhm.
I'm just curious, when you can say board management, what that would consist of.
One second. Do you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yeah. So here, I mean, so these board members will, when they log in, they will not see anything other than this particular uh, group or committee or wherever they belong. So, for example, here, finance and accounting, it's where, like, some board members of the nonprofit serve, and they can come here and they can message. Executive director can message, board member can message to another board members, or it's all of them can communicate, collaborate. They
All right.
can send.
All
Yeah.
right. So one thing they do is each board member has
Mhm.
their own file, their own account. They
Yes.
can log in and they create sort of a messaging board, or they can have access to the board materials.
Yes.
They can
Nonprofit
get
cannot. Yeah.
a notice of meetings and reports, and so it's sort of it brings all the different functions of a board together in one place for the board member.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Okay.
For a small to medium sized nonprofit, you don't need too many fancy things. Like you need whatever you told right now. That 3 to 5 things is what they need. They
Hmm.
want to message each
Yeah.
other. They want to communicate, collaborate, and share the files, and that's all. And here we have even gone a step further. You can create a like a post like a social media. So
Hmm.
once you create a post and other board members can comment on it and see executive director can comment on it, reply or create a new post and create a new thread. So each board member can share their thoughts. Hey, I'm thinking about this. What do you think? So here, this is a good example. Like, I mean, so they're working on a logo or some idea or event, so s- anybody
Ooh,
that
the annual gala, just what I love not to talk about. I see that.
and other board members can like it, respond
Yeah.
to it, and pin it, so you can do so many things with this. And this is only visible to people who have access to this particular group only. If there are
Hmm.
five board members, only 3 members are part of the fundraising committee, and the executive director, only those 4 people can communicate and
Okay,
collaborate.
so it's segmented according to committee assignment and thing.
Exactly.
It's pretty clever. So, what's been the reaction to this?
Yeah, nonprofits love it, and one additional tool for them to serve their mission, one additional solution, whereas they don't need to pay additional. So our pricing is comprehensive. It's we have two different types of 2 different tiers: foundation and platinum. So with even with platinum, like it's less than $90. Foundation is like kind of $70. So with $90, you get everything. You get a CRM, you get event management, you get board management, fundraising, tribute management, so camp management, so everything you get for around $90
Let's
for nonprofit.
let's look at the volunteering uh, piece. I want to see that.
Yeah. So volunteering, if there is an event, like, for example, this is an event, and people can, nonprofits can come and create an event and create volunteer opportunities, and people can go volunteer slots also, and use the URL to post on social media or websites. People can go volunteer and select the slot that they can volunteer and the service, whatever, like it's a packing, unpacking, whatever volunteer type service volunteers are interested, they can go. First, nonprofit have to create what type of volunteer opportunities, and volunteers can go select what they're interested and go serve.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
So this is something that, I mean, a
yeah.
nonprofit resonates with nonprofits, small to medium sized nonprofits is like, no, you don't need, 10 different programs, and you don't need to pay 10 different vendors. It's less than, $90, and you get everything. It's very cost effective and time saving.
You're a good salesman, Bala.
Thank you,
um,
Ravi.
so let's go back to you a minute, and I may come back to this in a minute. But um, if you if you can in this the share, let me see you again. There you go. You're much
Yeah.
better looking than that chart. Um,
Okay.
the You pretty much spent your entire working life with nonprofits as your clients, customers.
Not
Um,
entire life, not entire life.
well,
Half of
tell me how this came to be. I mean,
Yes,
you're out of school, you got an MBA, you went to work for IBM, I think it was. You told us. So
yes.
that's hardly a small firm. You more or less dropped into a corporate slot. Um,
Yeah.
so how did it come about that you first of all developed an interest in nonprofits and two founded AFNets?
Yeah. So while I was working at these big companies, I worked with the COX Enterprises, which is another probably, $100 billion company in Atlanta. COX
Mhm.
Enterprises. It's, I think, one or number two largest privately held company in the world. This one. So working at these large companies, whatever time I had, I used to volunteer, whether it is for St. Jude or Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and or Rotary International. No, I served in Rotary in almost every role at the club level and area level, at 10 different clubs. So I mean, from a member to a volunteer to a donor to vice president, public relations, marketing, and all that. So while I was serving in Rotary, I got introduced to a lot of nonprofits because a lot of nonprofits came to either
Right?
get support or
Yeah.
uh, funding from Rotary, and I was part of that giving. And when I was giving, I was obviously looking at nonprofits mission and what the non why the nonprofit need money. And so I saw a lot of nonprofits use 3 to 10 different, or even sometimes I came across nonprofits that are using 20 different tools to run their nonprofit. 20. Sometimes.
Wow, 20 software tools, technology
Exactly.
tools.
Yeah, yes. 20 different vendors they use to run their nonprofit. I have seen some nonprofits, 15, 20. So I thought, because I'm in technology, I know for sure no software will talk seamlessly with another software, because their tech stack or firewall or something else is comes into the picture, where a nonprofit have to download and the data into the local hard drive and then upload. And during this process, some data will get lost, and no other software will take the data and put it into their existing system as is. So nonprofits actually waste a lot of time. So I thought, if I can help them save time, they can use that time to spend on their mission, which is why the nonprofit was originally created.
Yeah.
So you can see, like, using a good software solution, you could save 50% of the time, and maybe and you can raise a lot more funds during that time. So imagine, like, if a nonprofit is serving 1,000 people, 50% saving time, and you could raise more funds, and you could serve 1,000 more people with the same team
Mm.
members.
Okay, so you were working, you decided, so did you take the leap one day and quit your day job and found
Yes,
this
yes,
thing?
yes, yes,
Uh,
yes. And
and
fortunately, after working for an year or two, I have a lot of team members, like, who are working with Microsoft, Amazon, even NASA, and big companies. They started, like, seeing what I'm doing, and I built a small team, and now our team is growing, like, it's double digits now, full time people.
so how
And
long ago was that you founded AFNITS?
approximately 5 to 6 years ago.
Oh, this is fairly recent then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
All right. So for some reason I thought it was longer than that. Anyway, so then one of your original notions was to consolidate technology services for nonprofits to, I guess, make it more efficient, effective, and certainly cost less. Those were the three things that you were looking to do.
Cost effective is second, but the number one thing is anybody can make money or donate money. But one thing, like, human beings can do is create time. So by
Mm,
using multiple tools or not using a tool, nonprofits, obviously, work need to be done. So they are doing manually. So I have seen nonprofits, you know, if 100 people are registering to an event, they take a book and they write a receipt. They take the payment, they take the receipt, and then they take the all the paperwork to the office and you enter it again. So first they do it manually on the paper, and then they take to the office and enter it into the system. This is very common, whether it is volunteers or events or even sometimes donations. So a lot of times this paper trail also get lost. So nonprofit people, because they're so mission oriented, and when they can't do something, they get very uh, sad that, oh, you know what, I lost all this information, whether it is receipt or entering the donor information, all these things. So they they spend a lot of time in doing the same thing manually
mhm.
and then entering into the system
So,
electronically.
so what would be your optimum size nonprofit that would find this effective in terms
Oh,
of optimum
mhm.
would be budget size? What would be the optimum size budget organization that would enjoy having infants? I mean, small, medium, large. Give me a range here.
Yeah, 100,000 to, in between 5 and 10, 100,000 to $5 million
Okay,
nonprofit.
so
Yeah,
relatively small, but
yeah,
certainly 100,000 is what I call micro at that point.
yeah.
Very small. So here's the other thing I want to talk about. Um, and you know this as well as I do, that the tech industry um, typically oversells nonprofits. They buy
Hmm.
stuff that's more sophisticated than they'll ever use, and they're
Hmm.
paying through the nose for it. In fact, the
Hmm.
recent studies seem to suggest that they only use about 60% of the features they buy. Now, I don't think that's your case, but how do you um, what's your value proposition compared to those CRMs or whatever that are really built for Fortune 500 companies?
Actually, that's a fantastic observation, Larry. Thank you. As a matter of fact, I disagree 60%. Actually, they don't use even nonprofits don't even use 5% actually of the
Mm-hmm.
big softwares. There are 10,000 features. Not, I mean, small to medium-sized nonprofits, they use 5 to 10 different things
Mm-hmm.
50% of the time. So whatever that 5 to 10 features they use, a lot of these big box companies, usually they develop for profit companies. I don't want to, I mean, on the record, I don't want to say the names, but they are built for profit companies, and
Oh
they
yeah.
sell and
Oh
and
yeah.
they come and sell, I mean, package, repackage, and they sell it to nonprofits. So here, it's not built for nonprofits, number one. Number two, there are 10,000 features that the nonprofit don't need that they are paying.
You know what I say? What I say about that? I
Mhm.
say these people, these vendors, they're selling nonprofits Ferraris when they need a
Yeah.
lawnmower.
And and sometimes even that lawnmower,
Could be a push lawnmower, not a
when they
power
need a
lawnmower.
when they need a snow blower, they sell a lawnmower too.
That's true.
So basically, these small nonprofits
Well,
or medium.
coming from Minneapolis,
Mhm.
I think that's interesting that you use the snowblower
Yeah.
analogy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how I want to know
Mhm.
where in India were you born? Where in India you born?
I was born in South India, near Hyderabad. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So how did a South India boy like you get used
Mhm.
to the Great North and
Yeah.
the weather in the winter? Tell me about that.
It's a big transition,
Yes, it
but
is.
in between, like there was Atlanta, there was Wisconsin, and then so
Okay.
Minneapolis. So
All
it
right.
was not bad, like coming from Atlanta to Wisconsin, and then Minneapolis. So it's not a shock, but obviously, when the temperature gets to 20 below zero, 30 below zero,
Mm-hmm.
yes, 40 below zero, yes, it is. But
Well, when I was in India a couple of years ago,
yes,
I did make it to Shimla,
Shimla, yeah,
which is at 7,500 feet,
yes.
and I took the narrow gauge railway before the monsoon washed it out. Thank God, I was up there, and it is. I mean, I was there in what February, and there was a little snow here and there up that high, but
Hmm.
typically, and of course, you got higher to the Himalayas, it was more like winter. But yeah,
Hmm.
but typically, if you're in Delhi, it gets pretty damn hot there in the summertime with the humidity. But so I'm
Yeah.
just curious how you made that adjustment.
As I mentioned, like I mean, it was cold, the first couple of winters, didn't know how to dress or a lot of things, but it's been what, like almost 14 plus years living in
Yeah.
Minneapolis.
Okay.
We get used to it. Like I mean,
You
sometimes
you
that
adjusted.
get
You
your
adjusted.
you get your skin thick and blood thick.
Do any of your family come and visit you in Minneapolis?
Yes, 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 yeah.
Well, that's an adjustment for them, unless they come in the summer for sure.
But most of the times, I mean, it's late spring or summer.
Right.
And you know what? This is one city. that one state, like, I mean, usually I call, like, you can enjoy 4 seasons. You can see
Mhm.
really
Oh
awesome
yeah.
winter, awesome summers, awesome fall, and awesome spring. Like, you people say there are 2 seasons in Minnesota, but I believe, like, there are 4 seasons.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now, something I think slipped past me, and I want to go back and make sure I understand this.
Mhm.
Avnitz is a commercial company, or it's organized as a nonprofit.
No, it is a commercial company.
Okay. All right. Well, I thought it
Commercial
was,
company,
but
but we
something
are
you said.
yeah,
Well,
we are
hey,
mission
listen.
oriented company.
There is nothing wrong with being commercial company, Bala. You're not going to get grief out of me out of that. In
Okay.
fact, it's the only difference between you and a nonprofit is the way you deal with excess revenue. The
Yeah.
nonprofit can't pay it out in profits, so they can't pay it out to stockholders or anything else. But they better have a business model that works, or they won't
Yeah.
be around too much longer. I like your idea of kind of a one-stop sort of service, and you're really serving.
Yeah.
I'd say the bulk of the nonprofit community, because that's that 100K to, you said, 5 million.
Yes.
That's there are an awful lot of organizations that fit that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, actually, Larry, that is in that range, I believe, like, there are millions of nonprofits in that range, and
yeah.
they're underserved. They're underserved. And one of the reason we started the company and started to build the software is because these people really, I mean, pour their heart into the community because they're so much passionate, and they start nonprofits. They try to, I mean, hire people, and these big box companies, like, $1,000 per module, $500 per module, and they don't need 10,000 features, and you need a consultant to teach them the software. So that's where
Oh yeah.
we in
Oh yeah.
that's where we come in and help them, like, what you truly need, like, I mean, the things that you need to operate, like whether it is a event management, donor management, peer-to-peer fundraising, a board management, so the all the basic things plus a little bit more intermediate things they need, we have it.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't aware that it was so comprehensive. You've really kind of built it out,
Yeah, we
and
built it out in the past 2 years. Yeah.
and yeah, I really like that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like that very much. Do you? I just curious. Do you now? This is one thing. Does it have an email surface? I mean, or you use one of the other
Yes. Yeah.
email services?
No, we have we our software is integrated with email marketing also. So
Okay.
almost most of our clients use our own email marketing program
Oh, really?
for newsletters and
Okay.
even emailing to donors and prospects and all that. So yeah, we have
Okay.
email software integrated.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Now, do you cover pretty much all the different areas of nonprofits? Youth, culture, education. Tell me about that. Or is it concentrated in one area?
Yeah. So we started a lot more wide, but we learned that it's better to focus on some
Yeah.
nonprofits, especially. So we are while, I mean, we can serve most nonprofits, but our focus is on youth education, religious nonprofits,
Mm-hmm.
membership based nonprofits,
So yeah.
healthcare advocacy.
Yeah, I could see where that would work. Yeah. Youth membership, uh,
Yeah.
faith based. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's and the right things. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So
Um,
our software is matured in those areas, and we have like literally, like, there are few nonprofits. The CEO and executive directors say that they run their entire nonprofit on our software. That's
okay.
a compliment, and
Oh yeah, it
uh,
is.
yeah. So
Um,
they run their entire nonprofit on our software. Whether it is camp management, whether it is donation management, board management, volunteer management, attendance, survey. So,
okay.
there are a few nonprofits that do all of this in our software, where before us they were using six different software. Now
Mm-hmm.
they got rid of six
So
vendors. They work
so
with us.
So, Bala, what do you do when you're not doing this? What else do you do? What do you
I
do
dream
in your
about
off time? You what?
honest, I dream about this.
You dream about this. Well,
One,
are
one
you
thing or another.
married? Are you
Yes,
married?
yes, of
Okay.
course.
Well,
Yes, I have
hopefully your wife is saying that I get some of his attention and time.
yeah, yes, certainly, certainly. I have a wife and happily married, and I have two kids. In
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. One is a rising senior, and another one
Oh,
is uh, going to start middle school.
you don't
So,
look that old, Bala.
daughter and a son. Yeah,
Okay, you don't look that old. You're amazingly well preserved, one or the other. So, well, congratulations. Yeah,
thank you,
yeah.
thank you. Yeah,
Um, so this is fascinating. You've answered most of my questions.
Larry, thank you.
Um,
I'm
you know,
I'm
I'm not a bit. Go ahead.
I'm fascinated with your eight principles.
Well, I can
I
tell you what we do.
Yes,
Um, it's a training platform.
yes.
The principles themselves are the the unchanging truths that that describe philanthropy, how it operates. You either work with them or you work against them. And what I've discovered is that most nonprofits really aren't performing fundraising; they're practicing it. And what I
Mhm.
mean by that is there's sort of an implosion of all the weight of all these strategic things, some of which we've referred today, so that they really have not addressed the fundamental issues of cultural alignment within their organization, how you understand philanthropy, who's involved, why are they involved, what is my role in it, you see. And so, you talked about, that you have this point of sale type of service on your website, and that's fine. But as you know, very few of the really larger gifts ever come in that way. And it's this face to face, person to person. You're building relationships with people. But more often than that, what we've discovered is I'll give you an example. Here's a perfect example. Very few people in a nonprofit really understand their particular role in fundraising. Everyone has a role, even if it's a minor one. They're all involved. A good example: last year in August, in a small town in Montana, 5,000 people. All right. There's a man that lives there who qualifies as ultra high net worth. In other words, he's got at least $1 billion. Well, when you're a billionaire in a small town of 5,000 people, you are a known person. No way to get around that. People know who you are. All right. Well, on this one occasion, it was a year ago in August.
Yeah.
He gets on the phone and
Mhm.
calls this person.
Mhm.
Calls this one particular organization he's interested in supporting, and the receptionist answers, and he identifies himself by name.
Mm.
And he says, "I'd like to speak to the CEO." Her name was
Mhm.
Julie, I think. And here
Mhm.
was the response. Listen carefully. This was in August. "Oh, Mr. Smith, thank you so much for calling. Julie's really busy right now, but I'll have her call you later this year after we've done our annual gala."
Mm.
How do you think that went over? All right. Now, was she being rude? No. She
No.
was doing what she was trained to do. All right. And she wasn't trained to understand how to be sensitive to a donor or to understand what happens when they call you. She should have said something like, "Oh, Mr. Smith, it's a pleasure to speak with you. Julie's in a staff meeting this morning. I'll see that she calls you this afternoon. What number should she use to return the call?" Bam. See the difference? And
Yeah.
that's a very small example of what I'm saying to you is most organizations, even smaller ones, are not
Yeah.
aligned. Fundraising is out here someplace, if it's anywhere at all, although they live and die by it. There are only a few people that ever really understand it. You got board members that don't understand it. And so what we have is something that in the corporate world is pretty common, but it's not common in nonprofits. We have a continuous learning platform that they license, and they can continue to train their people on the inside. And they train them in the alignment of fundraising, not just the tactics and the techniques. That's the easy part. All right. It's the cultural alignment. And the organizations that manage to achieve that
Hmm.
uh, raise a great deal more money. You familiar with a man by the name of Russell James? You know Russell?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes.
Okay. Well, he's done all the research and he'll demonstrate to you that when organizations get this kind of alignment, they have incredible results. So then they can count their money more with your service. See, there you go.
Yeah.
So, but as we've rolled it out to nonprofits, most you say continuous learning to a nonprofit, and they kind of go, "Huh, what's that?" You're a corporate guy. You know what that is. You know what they do all the time, and then understanding, aligning yourself, and understanding what it is you're doing for your donors, not just doing for your organization. All that. That's the difference. So that's what we do. That's what we do. I mean, I
Yeah.
still sell. I mean, the book still sells and all that, but this is what we really provide people.
Yeah. Great service. Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, anyway, you've answered all my questions. I wanted to find out what
Hey,
was going on with you, and it looks
thank
like
you.
you've increased more modules. I like that.
Thank
What else do you want to do that you haven't done?
we decreased the price. So
Well,
it
that
was,
too.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was $400-500 per license. Like, now it is like almost $90. So we decreased a lot because non-profit, we increased the modules, we increased the features, and we decreased the price.
that's almost
And
impossible, but I'll believe you.
yeah,
Um,
the
I don't
reason is,
disbelieve
like,
you.
we optimized our costs.
Hmm.
We looked at our technology, we looked at our costs, and we optimized a lot. We saved a lot of money by technology optimization on the cloud. And there is no secret. We are passing those savings to the customer
I get it. So,
because
what do you still want to accomplish, Bala? What's still on your plate?
we want to help nonprofits raise funds seamlessly, whether on a mobile device, on an iPad, or any device. Hopefully with
I can see that.
a
Yeah,
couple of
everything you've
clicks.
told me is
Yeah,
an attempt to reduce what the business people call friction.
yeah.
It's to make
We
it
want to
make it.
eliminate all the barriers to donation.
Yeah. All right.
We
Okay.
are thinking a
Well.
lot, we are researching a lot, and obviously we are also investing significant resources into AI.
All right.
So,
Okay.
nonprofits can know who are the top 10 people, who are the top 10 prospective donors,
Mm,
that they should reach out.
all right.
So we are also, doing that. Yeah.
All right, sir. It's a pleasure as always.
Yeah.
Um, ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking to Bala Guntipale. I love that last word, that last name, and who is the president and founder of AFNets. And he's built a single source stack that tends to reduce the friction in not only just fundraising but in nonprofit management as a whole. And we saw some of his modules. I'll check back with him after he's managed to work on this AI. My listeners and viewers know my thinking about AI, and it's not generally very positive. But we'll take it up a little later. So thank you, everyone, and stay tuned for our next guest.
Larry, thank you for your service.
You're welcome.